Hi, I'm Brian Van,
I'm Eddie Kraft.
and we're finally going to tie up the third part of Eddie Kraft's race bike prep. And we thought it'd be cool to do it in the place where he actually prepared the bike. Eddie and his dad, Joe, right over there, that's Mr. Kraft. They've been riding and racing together for a long time. It's kind of a father-son thing that they've done. And this is Mr. Kraft's house. And they've been working on the bikes here for years.
He doesn't even let the bikes come to my house. They have to stay here. They don't even leave until they're ready.
And you can see they've got a nice clean garage to get it done in, okay? Got a nice work table. He's got a workbench area. He's got his tools and stuff over there. Yeah, they're kind of neat freaks, and that's okay. Now let's move to the bike, okay? Exhaust, what are you using?
We got the Graves exhaust, the Full Works tie system with the carbon can. And that's what we've used the past couple years, and they have a lot of development time with the R6 as well as some other bikes, and so it's worked great for us.
The Grave stuff's made in America too. A lot of people don't know that. And you know, you compare this to even some of the other high-end systems. There's one other brand I'm not going to mention that's perceived as a high-end brand, but you compare the Graves to that one, might start with an L, and I got to tell you, the stuff fits nicer. And it just seems, even with the way the pipes and the cans and everything go together, it's just a nicer fit. Graves does a great job. Beyond just the performance part, it's a phenomenal product. Rear sets.
Graves as well. I mean, that's two of Graves' staples are the exhaust and the rear sets. I mean, the rear sets they're bulletproof. And we've used other rear sets in the past that don't crash as well. These are a little bit more money, but they just hold up so well, and they're perfect. I mean, the way the pegs are shaped, the ease of replacing them if you do go down and crash.
It's the best rear set on the market, no doubt. It's also the most expensive, but I got to tell you, that's one of those cases where it's worth the extra money. Okay, the exhaust is really no more expensive.
No.
The rear sets are different. There's a lot of time and energy that goes into these, right? An expensive piece, but it needs to be.
And there's some rear sets where if you crash, you can bend the whole bracket, and then you're having to buy a new set of rear sets. So I mean, some brands you have to factor in the cost of two sets of rear sets if you're crashing. With these, I mean, literally, you scrape a peg, and it's really just a cosmetic thing that you just have to swap out a new one if you want.
What I found too is that the pegs are so durable, the way that they've shaped them too, that even when you crash on them, you're able to still ride on that same peg for that weekend if you need to.
Yeah. If you don't care about the looks, I mean, they can survive 2, 3, 4 crashes.
Brake lines, stainless steel braided brake lines are huge, and pads, right? I mean, you have to have proper brakes for a race bike. There's no doubt about it. It starts with the brake lines, okay? You need to get that flex out of those stock rubber lines, because that results in brake fade when they get warm. You know, you're going into, say, one of your hard braking zones, you squeeze it, they start to fade, you have poor lever feel. The stainless steel brake lines take care of that. Give you great lever feel, increased stopping power. And then next up is going to be the pads.
Yep.
You have to have proper friction material, period. What do you run?
We've run Vezras, we run the Carbon Lorraines, both work really well. Carbon Lorraine has a few different brake pads that work for racers, track day guys, and Vezra has similar ones. Both of those work extremely well.
Yeah, I'm the same, both rock solid products, no doubt about it. Suspension, what are you using?
Öhlins. We've got a cartridge kit in the front, and we've got the TTX shock in the back. Öhlins offers those combos for all bikes, as well as 4 piston kits, which are a little bit cheaper. They're the best. They're used by the top guys at the AMA, and for most club racers too. That's really the way to go.
Our team's really pretty spoiled because his dad, Joe, is an Öhlins distributor and Öhlins technician too, right? He's been through the Öhlins classes. That's actually what he's doing over there. He's getting somebody else's stuff ready. So that's a big benefit for us. Some tuning assistance, service.
Oh yeah.
And it's really close and really easy, and he does that through the Witchcraft Motorsports, Öhlins distribution.
Any customers that buy stuff through us have access to his knowledge database, and he deals directly with Öhlins, USA. So the book he's building up with notes and data is growing pretty nicely.
And we definitely have a lot of data for R6.
Yes, yeah, the R6 we've got that nailed down.
A tremendous amount of data for R6. What else, man? Chain and sprockets.
Yep.
Chain and sprockets. Come on over this way, Josh. On a 600, on a 600 Super Sport bike, gearing is so important, it's ridiculous. Gearing can be the difference between a solid finish and a horrible finish.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you.
Yeah. I know all about it. Don't ride Road America gearing with Brad. Get it, okay?
It makes a big difference for sure. I mean, we have a variety of sprockets, you know, a box basically, and Brian does too. Countershaft sprockets, rear sprockets that we can change on different tracks. Yeah, it makes a difference in the 520 setup is common for most track day riders, racers, and even some street riders.
It's also, for street and track guys, that is one of the most affordable performance mods that you can do. You spend somewhere between $150 and $200-ish, right? And it really transforms your bike. You lose weight, right? And it's rotational mass too, because, you know, you start off, most of them still have a 530 chain. It's big, it's heavy, it's strong, it lasts forever, but it's big and it's heavy. And they have steel sprockets. You replace that chain with a 520, you replace that rear sprocket with an aluminum 520, so you lose some weight. And then you can also change the gearing so it accelerates better, it's more responsive.
Which is what most street guys like. I mean, so yeah, bang for the buck, that's a quick first upgrade to make.
No doubt about it. We're both going to Barber this weekend, thank God, to do some riding. And we both have the same final ratio on our bike right now for gearing, but we did it two different ways, okay? Kind of an experiment, or kind of might have happened because I didn't have a 46 tooth rear, but I had a 42. Eddie's got 1646 on his bike, and I have 1542 on my bike. And it works out to the same final ratio, right?
Same, about the same ratio, about the same wheelbase with two different length chains. So what we're going to try, you know, what my dad wants to try with this one also is trying Brian's gearing and seeing how the suspension of the bike and the corner entry and exit is affected by bigger and smaller sprockets on the rear.
It looks like a lot of the AMA guys are going towards those really little rear sprockets.
That's what it seems like, yeah. I mean, that's the kind of the notes we've gotten. This has worked for us, but yeah, we're going to try the 1542 and see how that works.
It's pretty interesting, all the little tweaks and changes that you can make.
Yep, all the little details can add up for sure.
One last thing is for AMA racing, we have to have a shark guard, right? That's required.
Yep.
This is
That's the Woodcraft one. Graves makes one also.
I've got the Graves on my bike.
Yep.
And that's a nice mod for anybody, really. The whole point of having that there is, let's say, you know, you low side, whatever, mostly going to be a low side. You low side the bike, and it's starting to pass you on the ground. This is to take, say, any appendages, and instead of allowing them to get in to the sprocket, the chain, it's going to deflect it, right?
Yep. Blocks them, and the AMA requires that. Some organizations don't, but it's a fairly inexpensive modification to make that, you know, safety feature as well.
Plus, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt. But at the end of the day, it's a nice safety mod. It's worth putting on the motorcycle. I think that's it, man. I think we've got it tied up.
I think we've covered everything, yep. So
That's it. That's part 3. This is Eddie Crafts, extremely clean, 2010 Yamaha R6, and this is the Craft Man Cave Motorcycle Workshop.
thanks for stopping by.